Yes, people, I hope you are good. I hope you are blessed and well. I'm Shadrach Notice, Company Director at Always Progress, where we help young people overcome challenges and become the best versions of themselves. I'm going to wrap it up quite quickly because we are on our fourth and final episode of our Food for Thought series, and we are tackling a big subject of generational trauma. So generational trauma is things that have affected someone from the past generation, either abuse, violence or oppression, and that effect has been passed on to generation onwards from. To give this context, for me personally, being told as a young man that I would have to try twice as hard as someone else in order to achieve the same result because of the color of my skin was a bitter pill to swallow, but I understood why I was being given this advice from the generation beforehand. It's because they experienced certain challenges, certain lack of opportunities, certain abuse and violence, that they wanted their next generation to be aware of the challenges they'll face and be able to navigate through it and apply themselves with the right type of resolve in order to get results. So with that said, I was determined, dedicated, disciplined with most of the things that I applied myself to, and this did get me good results. But at the same time, the deficit of accepting someone else being able to be rewarded or acquire, what I had been working for, knowing that they had not done the due diligence, the work, or put in the efforts that I had done, was my deficit. I was not prepared to ask for what I deserve, to challenge someone to reassess me, or sometimes feel like an imposter, knowing that I am competent, but not having the confidence to feel grounded in my decisions or what I had chose or what I am choosing to apply myself to. So the deficit of not asking for what I deserve was a limiting belief, passed on from the generation before. And this is not exclusive to culture. If you're in a relationship and your family have casted you out and you feel isolated, or you've chosen to migrate maybe to another area and you've isolated to protect your liberty, or your relationship that people don't support or understand, the next generation growing within that framework or household could ask questions about why they're so lonely, why they don't speak to other family members, or in an intimate relationship, they may be questioned about their lack of trust, why they're so suspicious. Did the generation before you grow in a vindictive environment or an environment where there wasn't a lot of trust? It is something that you are now mirroring or repeating given what you had experienced from parents beforehand. So it's good to think about what we want to pass on also to the next generation. The last one I'm going to try and touch on quickly is in regards to discipline and punishment. Sometimes when people are reprimanding their children in physical ways by beating or slapping, they want to install a certain principle. They want them to know from being disrespectful or deceitful, I'm going to punish you in a detrimental way for you to understand the negative consequence that you do not want. Because if you're dealt the consequence by life, you might not come back from it. So in this household, you're going to learn this before you leave. But at the same time of trying to install this principle, you do open up the deficit of this person accepting being abused or being beaten for being wrong. When you think about the different places you journey through in life, whether it be schools, organizations, or relationships, again, within an intimate relationship, you set the values and the boundaries. So if someone in an intimate relationship can convince you that you are doing wrong, you can be vulnerable to accepting being abused and to be treated in horrific ways just for the simple fact that you're in the wrong and you've accepted this framework from when you was very young. And even where frameworks have derived from, because when I watch series such as Roots and I see scenes like Kunta Kinte, it's all about the transatlantic slave trade, being beaten and told, your name is Toby. Anyone who sees that scene remembers it. They're trying to install in him that he is Toby and not Kunta Kinte, but how much that mirrors how generations have passed on discipline to next generations, so similar to how slave masters have tortured and abused slaves, really makes me think how much this is something we do as a culture, or how much it is circumstantial given what my people had been through, and if I really want to pass this on to the next generation. I'm going to wrap up there. Let's have the convos that help the community progress together. Take care.